All right, hello there. Welcome back to another episode of the Undisputed YGO podcast. My name is Rob. This week I'm with Luke. Luke, what is going on?
This week you're with me. What a surprise!
It's a big
It is.
twist.
So we are back again. A week after week. We're not taking a long hiatus again. Thankfully. I appreciate the feedback we got from the previous podcast. We got some
hmm
better numbers than we usually get. So that made us a bit more motivated to keep going and make some more content.
And we appreciate the feedback on the poll and the question on the Spotify,
Yes.
even though the answers and results were not what I would have liked to have seen. But sure, look, that's what happens when you throw out stuff open to the open wilderness that is the
Yeah,
internet.
but if you guys don't know, last week we put a poll up on our Spotify. Basically, it said what deck should Robert play for the next locals, and the answer for that with the
Well, should we just give what the
oh yeah,
options
yeah.
were
So I'll give the
first?
options, right? So one was meta, so just a random meta deck that Robert has. Another was counter fairy. One was cyber dragon, Robert's favorite deck. And there's a
hmm
there was Monarchs, which was a deck that Robert actually played in the recent locals. We'll get into that later. Pen of Magicians, Magic Spectres, and then the last option was Ojamas. And I can now reveal that the next deck that Robert has to play for locals is Ojamas.
Owie.
So yeah, I hope you got some nice spice in the kitchen to play some Ojamas for locals.
I was cooking. I was
Yeah,
cooking. I was up till like 3 a.m. last night in the kitchen cooking some spice. It, man, the deck is so bad.
it is, but we're all here for the memes,
Yeah, I mean it'll be a bit of crack trying to say no you to their monster zones,
Yeah.
but then once they realize what I'm playing, they'll be like, yeah, no, I'll scoop game one and then game
You
two.
see, honestly,
I'll do things.
like last week, like I played a different deck for locals, and I had so much more fun playing a deck that was so much worse than meta decks because of the interactions with the deck. But I'll explain what deck I played as well, also like a bit later. But let's say you lose game one to round one to a meta deck. Like round two, you're gonna get paired down with a player who also lost. Say they might not be playing a meta deck. They might be playing like a pendulum deck, or they might be playing like some random rogue deck. And funny enough, like your deck could be actually better than their deck. So it's interesting. Like
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more fun to play non-meta, and I encourage people to play non-meta at
yeah,
locals. Just try out new cards, learn what things do. Don't go try hard with your meta decks at locals. Like, come on, lads, it's only locals.
yeah,
Relax.
locals should be a way to either test new decks or kind of mess around with new decks and see exactly like if it works or if it doesn't. A lot of people test online, but I think it's more fun to play in real life because I got some good feedback on my deck. Like people were just saying like I know you lost and stuff like that, but that was a really cool deck. Like I never seen anything like that before. But yeah,
It's the human in that interaction as well, like that whole aspect
yeah,
of it. Because when you're playing online and you make a misplay on, let's say, Dueling Book, you're sitting there 20 minutes waiting for a judge to show
yeah,
up.
exactly. And
You know,
also, like some cards like that I'm activating my opponents, like I have to read this. I've never seen this before in my life, and you're like, yeah, like this is a reason why I'm playing the decks. Like these cards never see play. I guess I'll make use of that and use it. Well, yeah, we also had an answer as well for the Q&A that we posted. We only just posted one question, and the question was: should Robert actually buy an access code talker now or wait for the reprint? And we got a reply here, and it was from Irish War. I think it's Irish Warrior. I'm pretty sure that's Connor, a regular listener. Hello, Connor. So he said that you'd probably wait for the reprint. It's a big absence in the tin, so it's going to be turned to a selling point for the new upcoming set, and it's probably going to be in the Droplets reprint set. So that's the Brothers of Legend, which is in December. That's what I was trying to tell you. Like, if access code is gonna be a selling point for Konami, they're gonna have to be like, "Oh, this card is also in the set. Buy this set right now." I know you're saying like Masquerena was confirmed and Unicorn was confirmed, but Like the thing that will just completely like have people sold, be like, yeah, if this code's in it, I'm buying it. You know?
Yeah, like that's my whole thinking of it last week was if access code is in an upcoming set, they would have announced it straight away.
I think
But because they haven't announced it, is making me think that they may not be reprinting it until some stage next year.
see some sets honestly just keep it low key, like the Cyber Dragon deck. Like how long did it take for Imperium to get confirmed for that in the TCG?
Yeah,
You know?
true, true.
And like that's what sold people on it. Like people who never even played Cyber Dragons were like, "Oh, I'm gonna buy this deck now because it has Imperium."
Yeah, and then they threw all the rest of it into the trash.
Yeah, I'll take all that. I gladly take all that
Yeah.
stuff. That stuff will eventually go back up in price.
But well, I mean, it's literally the entire main deck of Cyber Dragon that was there, minus Galaxy
Yeah,
Soldier.
people will not stop playing Cyber Dragons. That's a deck that will always be around. Like Cyber Dragons and some sort of dragon deck will always be around in Yu-Gi-Oh! No matter what.
Yeah, because people like to play Dragon
Yeah,
decks, and if some people like machines, they go Cyber
yeah.
Dragons. You
Already
know,
played Rytrons. Sad.
boo,
Yeah.
boo that deck. Don't play that deck, people. Be
So
nice.
yeah, I heard you came back to locals. I also saw it, so I also didn't hear it. I also saw it with my own eyes.
Yeah, people were afraid of what Domain Monarchs could do in 2021.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I went back to my first locals and like I can't remember when the last locals I went to was. It was way before the Rona times, anyways. And I went to X2 in the 4 rounds with Domain Monarchs, which, considering I haven't played anyone that wasn't you at competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Or modern day Yu-Gi-Oh! In quite some time, it was pretty decent,
Yeah.
I have to
See,
say.
like losing to me isn't so bad because I'm a good player, you know. So
Yeah, because I'm also losing to the best deck, which is Grand
yeah,
Maju.
that is best.
Um, but yeah, like when I was playing Monarchs, people were like, "Hold on, I have to read. What does Domain do again? Oh, you have a tribute guy. I can't special. Okay, interesting. You
Yeah.
know. Um, I don't want to say I had the hardest matchups, but the second I came against something that had more than one negate out,
Mm-hmm.
I lost. So like game one, I played an Ice Barrier player, which I think he just bought three of the structures and slapped them together,
Yeah.
and he let me go first twice.
Yeah, he actually
Um,
asked me, the exact same player. He goes, "Do you think it's a good idea to play locals with the three Cyber Dragon structure decks?" And I was like, "Do you have a Nova, an Infinity, and a Seeger?" And he says, "No." I was like, "Yeah, no, don't bother." Like it's just
yeah, because I saw him with the structure playing man, and I was like, right,
mm,
he might be playing Cyber Dragons. And then when he dropped Ice Barrier, I was like, whoa,
yeah.
good on
Kind of
you.
sad though because we see people at the match like, "Oh no, they have Imperms now."
Yeah, yeah. The guy had Ashes in his deck though.
Yeah, but
Unfortunately, I had Majesty's Fiend out on field, so he kind of couldn't use it.
yeah, but say Imperm actually is
Uh,
really good against like just say if you go first, you normal someone Idea and your opponent Imperms it, you're like, well, yeah, I'll do it.
yeah, that's how I lost the later games.
Yeah.
Because you were beside me in the last round and you saw what happened. But yeah, so I too owed the Ice Barrier player because Domain was too strong, and I saw the big guys when I wanted to see them. I had Majesty's Fiend pop up. That was pretty good to see, quite a lot. Then game two, I played PK Fire. This was a bit troubling because game one he had a very established board. I just scooped once he brought Dragoon out. I was like, yeah, no, I can't do anything. Game two, I got some negates in, so I waited for him to get all of his stuff off and then go into Anaconda, and then I impermed his Anaconda, and then he couldn't do anything then, so he passed, and then I was able to get my domain lock on him then. And then I think this was game two, where he filled his board with a bunch of stuff, but he couldn't get over the big guy. I think it was Erebus.
Yeah.
And he couldn't get over it, so he was like, yeah, no, I can't do anything. So he scooped that, and then I think it was game three where he used his fog blade on my big guys.
Mhm.
So they were literally just sitting there not doing anything and just waiting for me to draw my next guided tribute, which then eventually I ended up winning that then. Um, then game 3 was Drayton.
Brentford.
Yeah, that was not fun.
Yeah.
Um,
They just special someone so
the
much,
guy,
don't they?
man, I think it was 30 minutes and we were only finished game 1.
Yeah. I would like see
Um,
you don't know the combo, so you don't know how long it lasts. I'd say if you knew how long it lasts, you probably just would have scooped.
oh yeah, 100%. Especially when you start especially when he stole my one of my tribute guys.
Yeah.
To then get out of my domain lock, which was fair play to him for figuring that out.
How did he take? He's a
Um,
mind controller.
no, I think he used someone's effect to take
Oh,
control of something.
Natasha. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Um. Oh, at that point I wasn't really paying attention because I couldn't negate anything. So I was like, yeah, no, no, no,
yeah,
no. Then game 2 he just smacked me up because I was like, but then if what was interesting about game 2 and that was like, not only was I facing against the clock, but his field was already established. And if I could have gotten a tribute off, I would have won that round and probably would have drawn the game. But because I already used a day's effect and who's the other little square dude?
yeah,
I do. So I already used their effects that turn. I couldn't do anything.
yeah,
And then I misplayed with Prime. That was a pretty big face palm on my part. It was only after the game when Luke kind of like told me what I should have done there.
yeah. Just not.
'Cause I didn't see it. I was too bit focused on getting like the draw to try and get something. To try and get like I think it was Stormfort or something. I was too focused on getting out or something like that.
Yeah. See what?
I can't remember what my train of thought was at the time.
Yeah, what I was. Yeah, what my train of thought was on the. You had the domain in your hand, and the prime was in your graveyard, but you shuffled it back with the prime when you activate it.
Yeah,
So the best thing that you could like you summoned the Erebus, use the effect, and then he after you told him that you wanted to shuffle the dragoon back, he decides to negate it, which is kind of unfair. But yeah, he negates it with a dragoon.
it's locals. It's
Yeah, yeah,
locals.
it's yeah. But if
You know, I don't really
honestly
give
though,
them.
like if that was a higher event, just be like nah.
Nah, bro, I would have called the judge straight over. I was like, give him that game loss right
But
now.
yeah, no, yeah, as you said, it's only locals. But yeah, you could have summoned back the prime, used Erebus and got your a card back. I got him back and then used his domain and used his effect again. So you would have been domain locked and you would have been able to use Erebus again because Erebus isn't once per turn. Well,
Yeah,
it's a soft once per turn. The but yeah, uh,
yeah, I would have been able to activate it again because he got negated the first
mhm,
time. Yeah, yeah.
but yeah,
But it was fine. I think the guy ended up losing in the final round anyway.
mhm,
So you know, it's karma. And then I faced Troy Brigade, game 4, round 4, and Gamma negated a day's effect game 1. Gamma negated a day's effect game 2, and I lost
yeah, that'll do.
in 10 minutes, record time. Because like we were looking around and like everyone else was still going on, and he's like, "How quick was that game?" I was like, "I know, man. Like Gamma is a stupid card." He's like, "Yeah." He also flipped the Imperial Order game 1 as well.
Yeah, I got
So
or flipped on me as
that
well.
wasn't fun. Yeah. So that was my locals experience. It was good. It was good to kind of get back into the swing of things and kind of it has me excited to play again this week. But then when I saw the poll, I was like, oh no.
Yeah,
And then when we were cooking up something in the lab last night, like I was saying, I was kind of getting excited again. But then once I started doing the test hands, I was like, oh no.
just realized, yeah, this is actually kind of bad.
Yeah, it's because the conflict within the deck is too much because Ojama wants to lock out the opponent's monster zones, and then other cards don't want to do that. They want to set up and want to pop things, and it's a mess.
Mhm.
But yeah, so that was locals for me this past week. How was it for you?
Yeah, it's It was good. I didn't play a deck that I usually played. I played a deck that nobody really knows what it does, as I was saying earlier. But it was a deck built around Aquamador. If people don't know what that card is, it's a card that was made like 20 years ago. I think it was in LOB. I think I'll double check that right now. One sec.
It's basically the guy that has 2k defense. That's the water type monster. He's always in like the starter decks in the
Yeah,
Yu-Gi-Oh games.
he's in the Kaiba structure decks all the time.
Yeah,
But I'm just trying to double check what's his first printing. I think it was some sort of like it was a very old one, anyways. I remember it was like a really old card. But yeah, anyways,
I don't know. I don't know if it would have been LOB because a 2k would have been LOB
yeah, like
because 1200 and 2k are pretty big stats for LOB
2K is very,
for level
very yeah.
4.
It's a very, very. Oh, here okay. So I got it. So it was in. Is this a set? The Eternal Duelist. Oh, the Eternal Duelist Soul, a Game Boy Advance game. I think. I don't know. That might actually be in the game. Oh, this is in the video games. Never mind. It's not the sets that they're released in. Oops. Um, yeah, I was reading. I was like, wait, what? Like, if this card game was a
A game promo? When did that
yeah, if it
happen?
would have been a hollow.
DB1,
DB1. Oh, there.
LOB.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was in LOB.
yeah. LOB. So yeah, it's like
I just got up here.
so. Yeah, so it's in Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon. Then it was in the
It was a
It
rare.
was in the Pegasus deck. Then after that, but
Yeah, it was a rare in
yeah,
LOB.
back then a 2000 defense monster was pretty hard to beat over without tribute. I don't actually think there was any
Yeah, because
monsters without equip spells that was 2000, like for a long time in Yu-Gi-Oh. Like I think it was like Gene Warwolf or like Axe Dragonoot were like the cards. And that was many years later that were like big cards that were, and they were only 2000. They weren't anything over 2000.
yeah, like I remember Vanilla Beatdown was like a meme thing between us for a
Yeah, that was
while,
actually kind of fun.
just because it was like literally just trade Gene Moore
Yeah,
Werewolf.
and like Axe of Despairs and stuff.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, the deck is built around Akumador, and it has synergy with cards like Gigabyte and Silent Angler, and all these crazy cards like Tin Goldfish and Rescue Rabbit. When I normal summon Rescue Rabbit, people are like, "Wait, what are you playing?" Like I
Yeah.
have not seen a Rescue Rabbit in so long, like, especially someone two Aquamador. So like, where is this going? And like make Bahamut Shark and then make Toad. And like, yeah. But against one of my opponents, so I think round one I faced the guy who won locals. Ben, he played Mech Knights. Yeah, Mech Knights. Like Orcus Mech Knight invoked kind of stuff. I did lose to Ben, but he was talking about my deck as well, saying like this is a really cool concept. And then round two, who did I face? I'm trying to think. I did. Oh, so round two, I faced invoked Despius. It's a friend of mine. And the reason how I won actually was because I top deck Rescue Rabbit.
Yeah.
uh, you can probably hear me in locals going, oh, like screaming, oh, Rescue Rabbit off the top. But yeah, Rescue Rabbit is just free Bahamut Shark though. It's pretty good. And round three, I faced PK actually. It wasn't the same PK player you faced. It was actually a different player. But
Yeah, no, mine was PK Fire, had the BA stuff and
yeah,
all
no,
that.
but like this one had a bit of it in it as well. But I think you just play like Graph and Seer. But game two of that match, I won game one, and in game two, the board was like Anaconda, Dragoon, like Owner, a monster, and three sets. And I was like, cool. I see my hand. The guy beside me sees my hand. I was like, oh my god. I'm like, main phase, activate Dark Ruler no more. Completely negate the whole board. And then like, enter battle phase, activate evenly.
Are we?
And then like, main two, normal summon Tin Goldfish, special Rescue Rabbit, Rescue Rabbit special summons 2 monsters, and then I think I make like King of the Feral Imps, Bahamut Shark, Toad, and then I overlaid the Bahamut Shark and the King of the Feral Imps for the Utopic dude. And it can't be destroyed by card effects or battle. And then I have and then negate the monster effect, and then I have Toad, and then he doesn't have much cards left because they're all banished. And I think I win from there. But yeah, it's a really cool idea. And then round 4, then I placed Dylan. He's playing Altergeist. That was actually really funny because round 1 I lost because Imperial Order, but he was on 50 life points. I put him down for so long, and it was like, yeah, he was on 50 life points, and it was so close. Game 2, then I think I lost game 2 as well, but game 2 was so funny because he had like all traps at the start. I just kept slowly like baiting out the traps with the amount of monsters I kept summoning because the deck just spams monsters from your hand. He summoned so many times, and eventually it was at a case where I was normal summoning Aquamador and attacking, and he was like drawing, setting a trap, and then like bouncing my stuff. Or it basically took forever. The only way I was losing is if he had 2 Altergeist monsters, and it took so long, and he was he was on so low, and he kept bouncing my stuff with the Silicoides. He kept bouncing my monster, so I couldn't really combo. But yeah, it was fun. I had a lot of fun playing it. I wasn't upset really, to be honest with you, for losing. I didn't expect playing locals to win with the deck, so but yeah, that was a fun time.
Yeah, like I was doing pretty well at like the first 2 games, and then I saw what the prize was at the end of it, and then I think I got a bit choked. And I was like,
Yeah, I seen the Cyber Dark one.
I saw the Cyber Dragon mat. I was like, oh, give me, and then I choked it.
But yeah, we have a poll then for next week. Well, for this week, for me, for next week, what decks I should play. I'll put all
Yes.
the options that I have in the Spotify poll. So make sure you vote, and please don't bully. Thanks.
Yeah, and if you're on YouTube, I'll link it in the comments. So check that out. Um, I'm assuming it's because you don't have any idea of what decks you have right now to kind
Not
of give a
Not off the
taste.
top of my head, there's a 3 or 4 decks that I have on top of my head. I have Mermails, I have Monarchs, I have Aquamador again, I have Grandmagiu, I have
Best deck.
Dinosaurs, I have Heretics.
I can loan you Ojamas.
No, you can't loan me Ojamas. That's not gonna work. It's my decks, not your decks. See, if this is the case, I could have loaned you loads of my decks.
But you didn't. You just wanted me to
I
suffer.
did. Yeah, there's a few like I can think off the top of my head that I have, but yeah, I will put them in the poll. I hopefully have more, but I just can't think of them right now. But
Yeah, we'll go through them a bit, and they'll be up by the time the episode is live, hopefully.
phew.
Because I think we're going back to the Wednesday upload with this one,
Yeah,
aren't we?
well,
Yeah.
can't be uploaded. Well, it's already Wednesday now as we're recording. It's technically Wednesday.
Don't give away that. It's kind of secret.
Yeah, we record this
Uh,
late at night. Spoiler.
yeah, busy man during the day, or busy man.
Yes, busy man.
So I just wanted to kind of have a little talk with you about some product.
Yes.
Some of it's upcoming, some of it's not upcoming, some of it's been out years.
Okay.
This past week, I bought 3 sets of Dual Devastator.
Okay.
And I just want to say this product is probably the best value for money thing that Konami has done, probably ever.
Yeah.
Even if you're buying a card for €1 or $1 or £1 each, you're still making profit off the box.
Yeah, at the time, funny
Like,
enough, like that didn't sell for a long time. Like it got released, people bought like 1 or 2 of them, but then like a couple of weeks after, like they were just sitting on shelves and they were getting discounted and nobody was buying them.
yeah, so that's crazy. I guess because all the competitive players would have had all the cards in the box
Yeah,
anyways.
the ashes and stuff like that were like €5-6 each. Like people just had a lot of them.
Yeah, and now they're nearly 20. which is insane.
Yeah, the market is crazy.
Yeah. And I got a pretty decent price for them. Like I think it came to nearly about 40 a box.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I started adding up what was in the box, I was like probably 5 cards in, and I was already breaking
You see
even
like the
on the
Ash, you
box.
see
I
the
was like,
Ghost
yeah,
Ogres
that's
and
cool.
stuff like that. You're like, yeah, the Ghost Bells as well.
Yeah, and like Gamma Seal and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's some good, really good
Like,
staples as well, like Dweller and Tornado Dragon and stuff like that. And Spectre I think is
yeah,
in as well, is it?
yeah, yeah.
Don't play that card.
There's just some stuff. There was just some stuff in there that I've was meaning to pick up over the years, and I just never did. And now I have them. I have a set of everything. Like I even when on Thursday I was looking for Vanity's Fiend, and neither of us had it, but it was in the box, and now I have a set of them. And by the way, when I was rooting through cards earlier today, guess what I found?
Oh, you did not find a van.
A common Vanity's
Oh,
Fiend,
sad.
just chilling in a pile of cards.
S-
I was like, oh, where were you last week when I was looking for it?
Sadness.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think it's probably one of the best products. If you can find them and you don't have any of the cards in the box, or even if you do have some of them, I mean, it'd be probably worth your while picking it up.
There's one product that I've
Uh,
wanted to buy for the longest time, and I just haven't got the cojones to pay for it. I just wanted it just for the nostalgia. Is the Legendary Collection 1. I
oh
just
man,
want to open one again because like they have the old packs, they have like LOB, Metal Raiders, and the majority of the time in them packs, for some reason, like you're almost guaranteed to get a foil, a hollow foil. So if you get like a Summon Skull from MRD or a Gate Guardian from MRD, or even an LOB Blue Eyes, which is a crazy money now, it's just so plus. But again, I don't think
yeah,
I have
well,
the money to pay for it. If for some reason I come into a bit of money, or someone I get to a situation where someone's like, "Oh, do you want me to buy you something?" and like it's somehow that value, I'll be like, "Yeah, give me that." But I don't really want to spend it as my own money. I also take gifts. Smiley face.
yeah. Well, I mean, we're in discussions of getting the a Twitch set up for the group of lads in the group chat.
With a
So
to be confirmed name, because our name isn't exactly PG at the moment. We have to actually try to find something to modernize it and make it less rude.
make it more marketable, friendly. You
The
know what I
name
mean?
actually came out. The name actually happened because I actually put all of the lads into a group chat and just named it something just to be like, yeah, this is what you are. But yeah, it's anyways. Let's go back into it. Content, like product.
Yeah. So from what I was talking about, Dill Devastator, one of the best products. If you can see it for a reasonable price, pick it up. Great cards in it. Especially if you're getting back into competitive Yu-Gi-Oh. It'll really help out your side, even now with Ash being essentially a main deck card now. Um, and I'm not sure if we really went into detail of it last week, but one of the worst sets or products that I've seen in a very long time is Synchro Storm.
Yeah.
That's coming out at the end of the month. I think next week, is it? That's coming
Spoilers
out.
got leaked for that. Did you see the spoilers?
It, I've seen it, and it's a very bad
So the
set.
Crystal Wing boss monster. It's also really difficult to summon it. Crystal Wing is already difficult enough to summon it. If people don't know, you need to have a synchro monster and also a tuner monster. So that's kind of awkward. The boss monster again. So you're gonna have to have a synchro monster. You're gonna have a tuner, and you're gonna have to summon a Crystal Wing, and then you're gonna have to have another tuner. Then again, it's just awkward. And for the card is just not worth. You're so much better just having Crystal Wing. Crystal Wings is so much better. And they released the new card in a ghost rare. We're just kind of like, why, like, just why?
Yeah, because I was actually going through it, and then I thought, like I was saying to the lads in the chat, I was like, "Oh, is this going to be like, having a few collector's rares?" And I was like, "No, this is the ghost
Yeah.
rare. There's only one ghost rare in this." I'm like, "Oh, so they're doing that now? That's a yearly thing that they're doing." And I'm not a fan of that, to be honest with you, with the one ghost rare, because their Age of Ra was absolutely awful
Yeah.
with their kind of hype with that. It's like the whole selling point of the set was that it had a ghost rare in it,
Uh,
and not the set itself. Which is, and again, another bad set,
I'm
but at least had the Winged Dragon of Ra in
I'm
it.
not sure if you actually seen this. I have to actually. So Burst of Destiny comes out on the 5th of November. Or the 4th of November.
I think that'd be probably pushed back a week or
No,
two.
it's out the 4th of November. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, is it?
It
Yeah.
should be. Uh,
So there'd be a sneak next weekend, would it?
Possibly.
If there wasn't one
But it
happening.
has new support
Okay.
for like Destiny Heroes. The new Destiny Hero fusion is really, really good.
Yeah, I seen bits and pieces of that. That's why Fusion Destiny or Destiny Fusion,
Yeah, are
whatever
gonna
it's
up.
called, is
Yeah,
gone up, isn't it?
you can use it with Anaconda and stuff.
Yeah.
But did you see what the Starlight Rare is? So the
No.
Starlight Rare for this set is Elemental Hero Stratos.
Oh,
Yes.
another Stratos high rarity that I won't
Yeah.
get.
Another waste of a Starlight Rare, if you ask me. Because Max C is
Yeah.
not Starlight Rare. Neither is Ash. We need Ash Starlight Rare. We have Veiler, we have DD Crow. We need more. Like Stratos was like I understand that Stratos is like it's like an old fashioned card, but come on. I understand that also the Destiny Hero cards are in it, but like he could have picked so much better. Like
Yeah, make it Diamond Dude or something.
no
Come on
Dasher,
now.
even Dasher. I'll take a Dasher.
Yeah, yeah. Aren't the ultis like 150
Yeah, the Dasher is pretty
right now?
expensive. The rares are like a tenner.
Yeah,
But yeah, there's also B Trooper cards in it. I actually really like B Troopers. They're actually kind of fun. They're just like
I might have
an
to look
insect
into that.
archetype that just they all like kind of have good synergy with each other. But yeah, Stratos has the Starlight Ray is kind of crazy. There's an evil twin Starlight also. Yeah,
Yeah, there's a few like Evil Twin support coming out,
yeah.
isn't there?
The new link,
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
good. But yeah, that's another set that's coming out. The Sword Soul cards are also really good. That's gonna be a new archetype that you're gonna have to look at and watch out for because the deck's good.
Yeah, I mean, I literally only tipping my toes back in into why everything
Yeah,
does with meta. So it's kind of nice that there's just a new set coming out as I'm coming back into it. So when everyone else is learning along with me, um, it'll be a nice
are there
experience.
flunderies in Synchro Storm? No.
Synchro Storm's just a bunch of
Oh, it
reprints.
is actually. Yeah, it's a side set. I forgot about
Yeah.
that. I don't know when they're out, but they seem cool. They're like all the little penguins and stuff.
Oh right, yeah. That's what's on the new regional map, isn't it? Or the OTS
Yeah,
map.
I think it's on the OTS map. They're basically like your Senjus. You just keep normal summoning them.
Ah.
You don't stop, and then you make the barrier statue, the wind barrier statue.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
kind of fun.
Yeah.
Well,
They might be out in that Brothers of Chaos set actually.
but,
Because they look like monsters that'll be out in that.
yeah, maybe. I haven't. I can't
Maybe.
see it right now. Oh, it's in BOD. Wait, what? Burst of Destiny.
That
That's the one.
the out
That's
already?
yeah,
That's so
yeah, there, yeah. Wow. Okay, cool.
interesting. So a lot of decks are coming out in Burst of Destiny
Yeah,
then.
it's supposed to be an interesting set, anyways. And the cover card is a Borland Dragon. Uh,
Another ball card.
yeah, do you know what it
Nice.
does?
No.
So it's a link 3, 2500 attack,
Yeah.
2+ effect monsters, and the effect is cannot be destroyed by card effects while a link monster points to the card. So the link arrows point
Hmm.
up, diagonal left and diagonal right, bottom diagonal left, up, bottom diagonal right.
Yeah.
It says you can only use the effect of Borrow Code once per turn. At the start of the damage step, if this card was linked someone using 3 monsters as material and it battles an opponent's monster, you can destroy all monsters on the field. Uh, but banish this. You can, and then when it's in the graveyard, has graveyard effect. You can banish the card from your graveyard. Banish one dark monster on the field with 3000 or more attack. It doesn't target. And if you do, special summon a topologic monster from your extra deck or your graveyard.
Oh.
So you can use the effect, banish them, and then target. Banish Dragoon.
Yeah.
And then after that, you can summon like Trisbania or Zero Boros from your extra deck.
That's pretty
Yeah, it's
decent.
pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a good way to bait Dragoon.
Yeah, or even isn't the new Destiny hero guy a dark as well?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, well there you go. There's another target. I think if he's over 3K.
I think he is. I can't remember. But yeah, it's still a really good card. You can also like mess
Yeah.
around with it. Like if you play like Lair of Darkness, all your opponent's monsters become
Yeah.
dark, so you can just target anything. It's up cool. It's also a dragon tech card, so it could be used in Dragon Links. It's a link tree, like the link trees in Dragon Link were like triple what was it called? Triple burst, was it? Yeah, triple burst I think it was called. But yeah, with the arrows as well, it's kind of nice.
Yeah, well, Link 3 is a decent. It's a decent number. You know, there's a lot of good Link 4s out there.
We haven't got
Uh,
Borland yet. I don't think you want to know what Borland is.
go on.
So Borland
Might
is a
go.
Link 5.
Oh,
Okay, and it
nice.
requires 3+ effect monsters. So it cannot be
Okay.
destroyed by battle or by card effects. Also, your neither player can target this card with monster effects. And then it goes, this card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. And then a quick effect, it still goes on. Quick effect, you can target one effect monster on the field and one rocket monster in your graveyard. Negate the effects of the monster on the field, and if you do, special summon that monster from your graveyard. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this effect.
Um,
So you can essentially like droplets something, and they can't respond. Like that's like it's pretty good. It's also a link for, and it
I'll
also
have to be
attacks
pretty good.
everything. So it's Ultimate Conductor Tyranno on as a link monster.
Well, it'd have to be very good if it's a Link
Yeah.
5.
Well, there's a few Link 5s that are terrible. The Goddess card is Link 5. It's not terrible, but it's like it's okay. It's the way you can summon it, like using your opponent's monster, is kind of cool. But
Yeah.
I like the like there's a firewall dark like fluid Link 5. I think you saw that my binder last week. It's terrible. It's a Link 5 and it's just terrible. It just sucks. But yeah, there's not many Link 5s. But yeah, I don't know when that's coming out. It's probably going to come out in Brothers of Legends actually. Now that I think of it,
You wouldn't even know,
yeah,
man.
but it's definitely something you have to keep an eye on because Borland is crazy.
Cards go brr.
Mhm. Uh,
Um, I think the last thing we can talk about here is that regionals have been announced to come back in. Is it Europe in general?
yeah, so what people don't know, because I had a bit of a discussion earlier with a friend of mine. So the US, unfortunately, is remote duel only for regional qualifiers because for some reason, I'm not sure why, but Konami US has issued a statement saying all of the events until further notice are being held as remote duels. But in Europe, we were lucky enough to get OTS events and regional events coming starting from November. So hopefully before
It
Christmas we can get a regionals. Hopefully,
hopefully that'd be nice, but I think it's more so travel restrictions in the
yeah,
US or trying to restrict the travel because people would be traveling to different states just for a regional,
yeah.
you
It's just
know?
it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
But in Ireland, like
Or-
in Dublin, we have two OTS stores at the moment in Dublin that host events where like there's a third locals that have only recently opened up in Tallaght under World Gaming. I'm pretty sure they're
Yeah.
looking for OTS status soon, so that could be another place that they can host. And the shop is supposed to be very, very big, so that's actually a very ideal spot to host the regionals, as well as like Gamers World, of course, being the biggest OTS in the country. But they like space wise, they don't have that much space because when the way that the shop was redone, but they could definitely host like 30, 40 players.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's looking promising. Did you see the new deck boxes?
Yeah, I think I seen it in like the promo
They're
image.
like, do you remember that deck box you saw me, the Ultra Pro one, the red one that had a broken magnet?
Yeah, they're like the tower
Yeah,
deck
yeah,
box, yeah.
with the dice and stuff.
Yeah.
They're actually kind of nice.
Yeah, they look decent, yeah.
I think we got them just before COVID. I think there was one regionals where we got them, and then COVID hit, and no more.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hopefully praying that we get some regionals. I'm not sure what we're gonna play. because if it is November, it's gonna be the ban list we have at the moment. But there is gonna be
Yeah.
new sets coming out, so it could be after Burst of Destiny, which it probably will be after Burst of Destiny. So 2 sets will be out since then, so we can kind of see what the meta's like then, and hopefully we can play and give some. We won't do a poll for that one because I think we want to actually do well.
What are you talking about? We're going to be playing Grand Magio.
Could play Grand Magic. It is the best deck in all offerings.
It is the best deck.
I had fun playing Grand Magic, but I've honestly played it for so many like weeks at locals, and people just know what the deck does. They're like, "Oh, you go first." I'm like, can't kill you."
Yes, see that's the problem when you're playing one deck consistently. When you're playing people, they associate that deck with you, and then they know what your deck is and how
Yeah, it's
you
a bit
how you
longer than
play it.
last time, but appreciate it.
That's what.
Spice.
What
So,
you
so
playing?
Ibarra was like, "Oh, you go first." I'm like, all right, cool. I'll set one card and go. And they're like, all right, cool. I'm gonna kill you now. And you summon all these monsters. Like, I'm gonna activate Threaten and Roar. Yeah, gotta save myself.
Negate attack. Oh yeah.
I just
Battle Fader. Gaze.
see, Battle Fate I get negated. So I just like before they actually summon up a monster that can negate something, I just flip Threaten and Roar. Or you could play Wabaku too. Same thing works.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like that was the main thing about regionals. Hopefully we get it, and hopefully we get more than one. We can kind of experiment because there is OTSs in the country, but I wouldn't.
I think the North might get one before the Republic
The
gets it.
North will be technically UK, so they actually might get one, and we can go to that. But the traveling last time was just like I enjoyed the event so much because it was the first like big event that wasn't a locals in so long, and I was like so happy to see everyone and like meeting people I haven't seen in like over 2 years. And like the travel was worth it, but again, it's just so long. It was like 2.5 hours to drive down, and then we're playing Yu-Gi-Oh for like 8 hours straight, and then back to 2.5 hours driving home. It's just such a long day.
Yeah. I wouldn't be able for it, to be honest with you.
Fall asleep.
My brain was fried after 2 rounds on locals.
Yeah,
Man.
locals does that to you, like our locals.
Like, I don't know what it was. Like I was wide awake, game 1, game 2 kind of took it out of me, and then game 3 I was just like, oh, just end me. I want to go home.
Yeah.
Blanket of Doom, where are you, bro?
Blanket of Doom is Robert's best friend.
It's my best friend, bro. He keeps me comfy.
Yeah, and also keeps you in bed.
Yeah, he also traps me. Prevents me from doing things. Like going locals.
Yeah. It gets too cozy. But yeah, I think that's everything for this week. We'll leave a Q&A in the poll also. I don't know what I'm gonna say yet, but yeah. Well, actually, I actually do know what I'm gonna say. Are you excited for regionals? And if you are, what is the most exciting thing that you're looking forward to? I'll put that in the poll. And also I'll put in the poll for next week what decks you want me to play. Robert is now unfortunately with the task of playing Ojamas for next week, so this week, so that should be fun.
I'm waiting to drop after round 2.
Tell us exactly how bad you're doing next week. But yeah, thanks very much guys for listening.
Cheers.
See you next week. GG.
GG.